There's something magical about classical masterpiece game. The elements, physics, story, and all kind of narrative are absolutely masterpiece. These are the element which makes up the game which I am going to define and express in this video. So stay connected to this video till end and also make sure to like and subscribe. So let's get right into our video. Baldur's Gate 3 is a 2023 role-playing video game developed and published by Larian Studios. It is the third main installment of the Baldur's Gate series, based on the tabletop fantasy role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. A partial version of the game was released in early access for macOS and Windows in October 2020 until the full release for Windows in August 2023, with versions for PlayStation 5, macOS, and Xbox Series X/S releasing later that year. Set in the universe of the Forgotten Realms, the game begins with the protagonist waking up from unconsciousness on a Mind Flayer dimension-crossing ship infected with a parasitic tadpole that threatens to transform them into a Mind Flayer. Alongside several others who have met the same fate, they are forced to go on a quest to find a remedy to prevent seramorphosis. Players choose from 12 character classes and customize their characters at the beginning of the game. They also select an origin from several options. Through interacting with other characters, engaging in round-based combat against enemies, and making plot decisions, players determine not only their fate, but also the fate of Farron. That determination is also impacted by the game's dice roll mechanic, where a player's roll determines whether the outcome of a character's action is successful. Resident Evil 4 Remake, developed by Capcom, is a stellar reimagining of the 2005 classic, masterfully blending modernized gameplay mechanics with the iconic horror and intensity of the original. This remake retains the essence of Leon S. Kennedy's harrowing mission to rescue the U.S. President's daughter, Ashley, from a sinister cult in a remote European village. With updated visuals, reworked environments, and enhanced character designs, the game immerses players in a terrifying yet beautifully detailed world. The remake elevates the gameplay experience by introducing an overhauled control scheme, improved camera angles, and refined combat mechanics that allow for greater flexibility and realism in encounters. Enemies are more intelligent and relentless, adapting to players' strategies and creating tense, unpredictable battles. The game also expands upon puzzles, exploration, and narrative depth, enhancing the story while adding fresh twists to surprise both new players and longtime fans. The atmosphere in Resident Evil 4 Remake is as haunting as ever, with eerie sound design and high-quality graphics that make every dark corner and hostile encounter more immersive. This remake not only respects the legacy of the original but also brings it into the modern era, reaffirming Resident Evil 4 as a defining entry in survival horror gaming. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is a 2016 action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. It is the fourth main entry in the Uncharted series. Set several years after the events of Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, players control Nathan Drake, a former treasure hunter coaxed out of retirement by his presumed dead brother Samuel. With Nathan's longtime partner, Victor Sullivan, they search for clues to the location of Henry Avery's long-lost treasure. A Thief's End is played from a third-person perspective and incorporates platformer elements. Players solve puzzles and use firearms, melee combat, and stealth to combat enemies. In the online multiplayer mode, up to 10 players engage in cooperative and competitive modes. Development of Uncharted 4 began in 2011, soon after the release of Uncharted 3. It was led by creative director Amy Hennig and game director Justin Richmond. Development was hampered in 2014 due to Hennig and Richmond's departure from Naughty Dog. They were replaced by Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley. The team sought to incorporate elements of open-world gameplay, with larger levels to encourage free-roaming exploration and combat. The relationship between Nathan and Elena was central, and Naughty Dog attempted to humanize them more than in previous games. A Thief's End was Naughty Dog's first game developed specifically for the PlayStation 4. The team took advantage of the hardware to process larger dynamic environments. Death Stranding is a 2019 action game developed by Kojima Productions and originally published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It is the first game from director Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions after their split from Konami in 2015. It was first released for PlayStation 4 in November 2019, followed by a Windows port in July 2020. A director's cut was released for PlayStation 5 in September 2021, followed by releases for Windows in March 2022, iOS, iPadOS, and macOS in January 2024, One and Amazon Luna and Xbox Series X/S in November 2024. Sony published the game on their consoles, while 505 Games published all other versions under license from Kojima Productions. The game is set in the United States following a cataclysmic event which caused destructive creatures to begin roaming the Earth. The player controls Sam Porter Bridges, Norman Reedus, a courier tasked with delivering supplies to isolated colonies and reconnecting them via a wireless communications network. Alongside Reedus, the game features actors Mads Mikkelsen, Leah Seydoux, Margaret Qualley, Troy Baker, Tommy Earl Jenkins, and Lindsay Wagner, in addition to the likenesses of film directors Guillermo del Toro and Nicholas Winding Refn as supporting characters. Elden Ring, developed by From Software in collaboration with author George R.R. Martin, is widely celebrated as a modern gaming masterpiece. This action RPG combines the intricate, punishing combat From Software is known for with an expansive open world that fosters exploration and discovery. Players journey through the lands between, a realm filled with haunting beauty, mystery, and a sprawling lore that beckons deeper immersion. Unlike traditional open-world games, Elden Ring rewards curiosity rather than hand-holding players with endless quest markers. The game's world feels alive, with unpredictable threats and rewards around every corner, making every decision impactful. Its seamless blend of narrative, freedom, and challenge allows players to choose their path while gradually unraveling the dark mysteries of its world. In Elden Ring, From Software's intricate combat mechanics shine, allowing players to adapt their playstyle across a vast arsenal of weapons, spells, and abilities. The game's formidable bosses present both exhilarating and intimidating challenges that feel rewarding upon victory. The haunting soundtrack and striking visual design further elevate its experience, creating a game that's not only challenging but deeply atmospheric. With its high level of polish and innovation, Elden Ring stands as a testament to what modern RPGs can achieve. Hogwarts Legacy is a 2023 action role-playing game developed by Avalanche Software and published by Warner Bros. Games under its Portkey Games label. It is part of the Wizarding World franchise, taking place a century prior to the Harry Potter novels. The player controls a student enrolled at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry who learns to wield an array of magical abilities and objects. With the assistance of fellow students and professors, the protagonist embarks on a journey to unearth an ancient secret concealed within the Wizarding World. Following their acquisition by Warner Bros. In 2017, Hogwarts Legacy marks the first release from Avalanche unrelated to Disney Interactive Studios and its products. Development commenced in 2018, while the game had an estimated budget of around $150 million. The storyline was designed to take place in a period untouched by established Wizarding World characters, offering players the opportunity to immerse themselves in their own distinct universe. Avalanche further emphasized the importance of making the game world resemble the original Harry Potter novels, while also wanting to go beyond known places to improve the experience. The Last of Us, developed by Naughty Dog, is a critically acclaimed action-adventure game that has redefined storytelling in video games. Set in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by a deadly fungal infection, the story follows Joel, a hardened survivor, and Ellie, a young girl who may hold the key to humanity's survival. Their journey across a decimated United States explores themes of survival, love, sacrifice, and the moral ambiguities of human nature. The game's narrative depth is matched by its compelling gameplay, which combines stealth, resource management, and intense combat. Players must scavenge for supplies, craft weapons, and use strategy to confront both infected creatures and hostile human factions. The AI-driven enemies are intelligent and challenging, creating tense encounters that keep players on edge. Meanwhile, the environmental design brings a hauntingly beautiful realism to the ruined cities and overgrown landscapes, immersing players in a world both tragic and awe-inspiring. What makes The Last of Us a masterpiece is its character-driven story. The bond that develops between Joel and Ellie is rich with emotional nuance, making their struggle feel profoundly personal. Supported by stellar voice acting and a moving soundtrack, The Last of Us transcends typical gaming, offering an unforgettable experience that has resonated deeply with players around the world.
The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is a landmark achievement in gaming, widely regarded as one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Released in 2015, CD Projekt Red crafted a sprawling, richly detailed world filled with compelling stories, moral complexity, and unforgettable characters. Players embody Geralt of Rivia, a stoic monster hunter navigating a war-torn, politically unstable world while pursuing his surrogate daughter, Ciri, pursued by the otherworldly Wild Hunt. The narrative is masterfully woven, offering deep emotional stakes alongside layered side quests that feel as significant as the main storyline. Each choice carries weight, shaping the world and its inhabitants in meaningful ways. The game's open world is a masterpiece, from the lush forests of Velen and the bustling streets of Novigrad to the icy expanse of Skellige. Dynamic weather, vibrant ecosystems, and richly realized cultures immerse players in a living, breathing fantasy realm. Combat is challenging yet rewarding, combining swordplay, alchemy, and magic in a seamless system. With its meticulous attention to detail, stunning visuals, evocative soundtrack, and unmatched storytelling, The Witcher 3 transcends the medium, setting a benchmark for narrative depth and world-building that continues to influence the industry. It's not just a game, it's an experience.
Red Dead Redemption 2, developed by Rockstar Games, is a masterpiece of open-world gaming, praised for its unmatched realism, storytelling, and depth. Set in 1899, it follows Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and key member of the Van der Linde gang, who grapples with loyalty, survival, and his own search for redemption in a rapidly modernizing America. As Arthur navigates the declining Wild West, he faces moral dilemmas that make his story one of the most memorable in gaming. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is staggeringly immersive, with dynamic weather, realistic animal ecosystems, and towns that feel alive with activity. Every character, from gang members to strangers met on the road, is richly detailed and reacts authentically to Arthur's actions. The game emphasizes player choice, allowing unique story outcomes based on interactions, decisions, and Arthur's evolving morality. Rockstar's meticulous attention to detail extends to gameplay, blending intense shootouts, cinematic horseback chases, and a complex honor system that tracks the player's reputation. Stunning visuals, a haunting soundtrack, and a narrative that explores the human cost of a fading era make Red Dead Redemption 2 a landmark in storytelling and technical achievement.